received news yesterday that the Ohio EPA has extended the period for public comment on proposed incinerator until February 23rd. Yes!
Yeah!
And the message we are sending is being received. This is the time to keep moving forward. I know that none of you are here for me, but I want to personally thank you for being in solidarity with me on this project. We are only just getting started, and it is fantastically exciting to think where our energy may take us and our community. And our first speaker was supposed to be Dennis Kucinich, and he came by and he did speak. Thank you, Dennis. Our second speaker was supposed to be Brian Cummins. He has fought the good fight and is not here today, and that's okay. And then there was somebody else and another person. But Maurice Small gave me a written statement that I can read to all of you. And I want to read it because he's awesome. If you haven't heard of him, he is described by the Rodale Institute as part farmer, part passionate activist, and part teacher, pioneering organic food security in Cleveland, Detroit, Louisville, and other Ohio cities. He is co-director of City Fresh, which, according to its website, is improving access to fresh, locally grown food for urban residents and increasing marketing opportunities in the city for local farmers. Small has been responsible for the development of dozens of community gardens and agrarian projects in Cleveland and beyond. He had this to say about the proposed Ridge Road incinerator. Dave's supermarket on Ridge Road proves that you can make money serving poor people and immigrants. One of the things about this incinerator is that it will affect so many children. We put a garden in the Dave's parking lot on asphalt about 4 or 5 years ago, and this garden is next to Dave's supermarket, a daycare center, and neighborhood family practice, which serves low-income people. This incinerator will be placed right at the backbone of a low-income neighborhood. And while there are no residents around the site at the proposed incinerator, there are businesses that would be affected. My sister and my nephews and my mother would be affected because they are just across the valley from the proposed incinerator. But I am not speaking for those people. I'm speaking for the soil. We all know that toxins in the air eventually find their way to the ground. We all know and remember what happened in Japan in 2011 when radiation leaked into the ocean. And that radiation is just now finding its way to the shores of Washington State and Oregon. All we have to do is put ourselves at ground zero of the fallout from this incinerator and think what it would be like to plant our crops in toxic soil. All we have to do is look at the toxins left in the soil in Tremont after the steel mills left. After 50 or 60 years of steel mills, the soil is still toxic. One of the reasons why I'm a proponent of raised bed gardening is because of Cleveland's past. The soil remains toxic, and the only choice we have is to build our gardens up by using compost and other waste materials. Put yourself in one of the neighbors of the incinerator's shoes and imagine the raised bed gardens that we built in 2008 in Dave's parking lot, next to the daycare center, next to the neighborhood family practice. Imagine that it is now toxic in 2016. Imagine.